So here in 2021, a lot of people have to share what their bedroom looks like because they have to work over Zoom. I had an experience online that really taught me to be careful about what's visible on my screen. You may have noticed that I'm very judicious about which direction I point my camera when I'm talking to you guys. So I'm currently living in Wallace, Idaho, and this is my sixth home since the pandemic began because I no longer have to be tethered to the office. And earlier today, I was looking at, because the owner is renting out this room to, this is a ski resort, so next month she won't be able to do a long-term rental. So I was looking at another apartment in nearby in Montana, and I gotta be careful when I move to like a shared accommodation situation because I have chemical sensitivities. And oftentimes when I ask people what their chemical habits are, people get very put off. Sometimes it's easier just to go there and make sure it's going to work, but here in 2020 that can be challenging too. But I find that a lot of times when I look at the photos, if I just read between the lines, right? If I see a bag of natural dog food or organic fertilizer, that's usually a very good sign, right? So I'm looking at this image here. I want to avoid pointing at the details because obviously this person might not agree to be sharing with this. But there's a bottle of natural soap, a brand that I recognize, and that gives me a nice warm fuzzy feeling that might be okay. I'll talk to this guy more, and then hopefully without him realizing it, we'll talk about some of our lifestyles, and that will help me gauge, right? If I just go in there and say, do you use fragrances? Usually people give me the shutdown, right? That doesn't work, right? But it made me realize that I gotta be careful when I talk to you guys on YouTube or I conduct business on Zoom, what people can see in the background. Good thing that Zoom has a feature for virtual backgrounds. I love that stuff, especially if I can put a virtual background that kind of goes with the topic of the meeting, right? If we're talking about, if I'm teaching computer science, I'll show a background with mainframe computers. If it's a chemistry course, maybe a background with all sorts of chemical containers and all that, right? If I'm talking about physics, maybe show the space station or something like, or maybe I'll even teach from another planet, right? So that's good. And more importantly, people don't get to see these little details, right? Sometimes people get very upset because of differences in religion or politics, and sometimes they can pick it up from these little, just like that seemingly innocent bottle of soap, right? It becomes a big piece of information. Anyways, if you're using Zoom, be careful what people can see in the background.